Hello, my loves. You already know it's your girl O'Shea, and you are tuning in to O'Shea Speaks. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. I really appreciate it. If you are a new subscriber, welcome me, welcome you. We welcoming each other, you know what I'm saying? I really appreciate you for tuning in. If you are a returning subscriber, hey y'all, how y'all doing? What's up? Thank you for coming back to my channel. I really appreciate it. Y'all the goats, for real. As you can see by the title of this video, we're gonna be talking about some stuff that I have seen a lot on social media. I personally have contributed to the debate. I see people going back and forth on Twitter and stuff. And you know, it's homecoming season, so I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to talk about something that is a conversation among young black women and men that are attending college, and that is the HBCU versus PWI debate. Let's get into it. I finally have two perspectives to this debate. For my undergrad career, I guess you could say, I attended a predominantly white institution for 4.5 years, Western Carolina University. Go Catamounts, yeah, represent, yes, go Cats. Okay, now two years later, I am attending a historically black college, North Carolina Central University, Eagle Pride Amplified, you already know. So now I have the dual experience, not necessarily the undergrad experience for both schools. However, I do have both experiences of going to a predominantly white institution and going to a historically black college university and being a black student. I got a few topics that I thought would be interesting and some things that I have experienced on both sides. So I thought, when I was in undergrad, my experience in the classroom was, you know, basically a classroom full of students that did not look like me, and most of the time it was either me or maybe 2 or 3 other black students. So for the most part, you know, we were definitely the minority in the classroom. I didn't enjoy being by myself, but there were some perks that I feel came out of being the only black student in the classroom. And one of those perks is it was so much easier for me to get to know my professors. I'm one of those students who really likes to get to know my professors and try to know them on a first name basis, just because it'll help you in the long run. At the end of the semester, when you're missing a few assignments or your grade ain't looking that good, you know what I'm saying? You know the professor and you're like, hey professor, you know me, I know you, we know each other. Go ahead and bump that grade up from an 89 to a 90. You already know, bro, you know? For me, I kind of liked being able to be noticed by the professor. I didn't really just fit in, and I think it was easier for the professor to get to know me because I stood out from you know, the rest of the classroom. And I know some people's experience probably isn't the same, because there were some experiences where I did feel really like annoyed. Like if you go to a PWI and you take like an African American history course or African lit or something like that, and you're like the only black student in a white school, and you have those like awkward situations where like, okay, today we're gonna talk about slavery, and then like all the students are like, and you just like, okay, what y'all looking at me? Because I wasn't here, I wasn't a slave. Dang, I'm not the only one that can have a perspective, you know? There were some situations like that, but it honestly didn't happen too often to me. But for the most part, my experience in a classroom surrounded by people that did not look like me wasn't always negative. My experience at a historically black college, so my like first day of class, I knew like what I was, you know, like getting into, but it was just really cool to like walk in the classroom and see my sister, see my brother, and be like, oh my God, like we all in this together. Hey, because, you know, I wasn't used to that. For me, that was really awesome, and you feel really like comfortable, I guess you could say, because you see more people like you. But just like I enjoyed, you know, being the focus at my PWI, that is the opposite now at a HBCU. So now since everybody black and, you know, the classroom has 25, 30 students, and you know, we all in this together, it is a little bit harder to get to know the professors because you don't really stand out. Because I have to be more proactive in getting to know my professors, more proactive in, you know, letting them know who I am, and making myself separate from the rest of the group, if that makes sense. But for the most part, you know, I'm learning. That's the most important thing. So I seen this post on Twitter and it was like, well, the professors at the HBCU care about you more than a professor at a PWI. So in my PWI experience, I have like a select 2 professors that I can still like contact to this day, that got my back, that could write a recommendation letter, that could, you know, be there for me outside of the classroom. So I did have that experience of not necessarily having professors that connected with me, you know, on another level outside of education, just because, you know, the differences of our culture, the differences of our race and our identities. On the other hand, in a historically Black college, there is a sense of like mom, dad, auntie, uncle type vibes when it comes to like a historically Black college. Like all of my professors are like, oh, you gon' graduate, you know, you gon' graduate, you gon' get a job, cause I'm, you know, and they're just like, it's like, you know, another mom or another auntie, and you know, we can connect on a different level. We have understanding on a different level. I wouldn't say necessarily better for me personally, because I still did have those professors at my predominantly white institution that did that for me. But in this case, it's kind of like all of my professors. Like HBCU is like a big kind of family type. And so it's not really hard to build those connections because you already have things that are like in common. College. Another thing that I have seen has been like, well, if you go to a historically Black college, like your degree is not worth the same amount as like a PWI college. And this just gets me because at the end of the day, we all got loans no matter what college you went to. So to put like a price tag on which one is more valuable is just kind of weird to me. I don't have a life after college experience for my HBCU experience now because I'm still a current student, but I do feel like now at my historically Black college that the relationships that I have built with my professors go beyond just my education. They've already said, like, if we good, I'm gonna make sure you have a job. You know, I'm gonna look out for my students that work hard. I'm going to, you know, really push for you, write recommendations, and kind of give you direction when you graduate. Unfortunately, it really wasn't like that at my predominantly white institution. Like, for example, now at my HBCU in my program, we have to do like a field study, so like an internship. And my college has like a list, like a book almost, of different places that you can do your internship. And not only do they have a list, they have the connections, and then not only do they have like the connections and contacts, there's like a specific field advisor that you get that works directly with not only you, but the organization that you plan on interning with. Versus at my undergrad experience, they were like, yeah, you need an internship to graduate. And that's pretty much it. But we really had to kind of figure it out all by ourselves. So I guess you could say that's a pro and a con of, I know that's not life after college, but that's still an experience of working outside of the university. And even like after I graduated, I don't feel like in one of my majors, I don't feel like those professors really truly like tried to help me beyond just like general help, you know, like do your resume this way or do this and do that. Like they didn't like push and like be like, hey, you should apply here, you should do this, you're really good at this, da 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 da. Versus now, even though I haven't graduated, I have professors that have already told me like, yeah, when y'all get close to graduation and y'all get out in the field and y'all have this master's degree, hit us up. because we might have a connection here, we might know somebody here or there, and we want y'all to be successful, so we're gonna hook it up for y'all. You know, we're gonna help y'all out in that aspect. So I don't know, give or take, whatever.